Why do we so often find ourselves running after people who clearly don't see our worth? Why do we stay up at night replaying conversations with someone who doesn't even think twice about us? Why is rejection from one person sometimes more powerful than the acceptance of many others? These are questions that come up for so many of us, and the answers don't lie in weakness or in a flaw of character. The answers lie deep within our psychology, in the way we attach, in the way we understand love, and in the emotional scripts we've unknowingly carried since childhood. When someone pulls away, we feel this sharp pang of anxiety. It's the same old fear of abandonment, triggered by the absence of consistency. Instead of turning away from what hurts us, we rush toward it, hoping to fix it, hoping to finally receive the love that feels withheld. This is known in psychology as an anxious attachment pattern. People with this pattern often find themselves overanalyzing texts, replaying every silence, craving reassurance, and giving more than they get. It's not neediness. It's an old wound speaking, a wound that whispers, "If I can just get this person to stay, I'll finally prove I'm worthy of love." But let's look deeper. Why is it that when we meet someone kind, available, and steady, we sometimes feel bored or uninterested? It's because our nervous system has become so attuned to inconsistency that calmness feels alien. For someone used to emotional turbulence, peace can feel empty, so we reject the very people who could give us what we need, and we pursue the ones who withhold it. It's not rational, it's biological conditioning. And yet, there's another layer. The chase itself becomes addictive. When someone ignores us or gives us crumbs of attention, our brain releases dopamine in anticipation of their next move. The unpredictability hooks us. Just like gambling addicts keep pulling the slot machine because sometimes, unpredictably, it pays off. We keep texting, calling, waiting, because sometimes they respond. And that little moment of validation feels euphoric. This intermittent reward system traps us in cycles where we confuse inconsistency with passion. But here's the truth we often don't want to face. Chasing someone who doesn't value us is not love. It's self-abandonment. Each time we put their needs above our own dignity, each time we silence our hurt to keep them near, each time we accept less than we deserve, we're teaching ourselves that our worth is negotiable. And nothing wounds the soul more than betraying yourself to hold on to someone else. So, how do we step out of this pattern? It begins by turning the chase inward. Instead of running after someone who is emotionally unavailable, ask yourself, what part of me is still chasing the love I didn't fully receive in childhood? What part of me believes love must come with suffering? And most importantly, what would it look like to finally stop running and to simply receive? Healing attachment wounds is not about cutting people off coldly or about becoming emotionally numb. It's about gently reteaching your nervous system that love is not something you beg for. It's something you build, something that flows naturally when both people value each other. This reteaching happens in small steps. It might mean sitting with the discomfort of not texting first, allowing yourself to feel the anxiety without immediately acting on it. It might mean choosing to walk away when your boundaries are disrespected, even if your heart screams to stay. It might mean learning to trust the quiet, steady warmth of someone who doesn't trigger your chaos, but offers you peace. Another powerful step is practicing self-attachment. Imagine treating yourself as the partner you've always longed for. Speaking gently to yourself when you feel ignored, validating your own feelings instead of dismissing them, offering yourself the compassion you so freely give to others. The more you nurture this inner relationship, the less desperate you become for external validation. You stop seeing rejection as proof of unworthiness, and you start seeing it as redirection, away from what depletes you and toward what can heal you. We must also challenge the fantasy that keeps us stuck. So often, we don't chase the real person. We chase the potential, the version of them we imagine they could be if only they changed. But potential is not reality. Holding on to it is like holding smoke. It leaves your hands empty and your heart exhausted. True connection is not about who they could become, but about who they are right now and how they show up for you today. Ask yourself, if this person never changed, if this was the best they could offer, would I still want this relationship? If the answer is no, then your chase is not about love. It's about longing. And longing is a powerful force, but it's not the same as being loved. There is a deep peace that comes when you stop running after those who don't see you. When you realize that love isn't about proving yourself, it's about being received. When you stop chasing, you create space for someone who doesn't need convincing. Someone who will walk beside you without making you run. And perhaps the most profound realization is this: the love you've been chasing from others has always been the love you've been yearning to give yourself. When you pour into your own heart with kindness, when you honor your own needs, when you stop abandoning yourself for someone else's approval, you break the cycle. You stop being the child waiting at the window for someone to come home, and you become the adult who learns how to come home to themselves. So, if you find yourself chasing someone who doesn't value you, pause. Remember that the chase is not about them, it's about you. It's about healing an old story, about reclaiming your worth, about choosing peace over chaos. Love should not feel like running uphill without rest. Love, in its truest form, feels like coming home. And as you reflect on these truths, I invite you to stay connected here. This is not just a channel, it's a community where we uncover the hidden layers of our minds and hearts together. If this conversation resonated with you, subscribe to the Soul Bank. Let's keep building this circle of like-minded souls so that we can walk this journey side by side, reminding each other that we are not alone.